Enterprise adoption, policy, and organizational shifts. Moving into the realm of business strategy and policy, it's clear that companies and governments alike are ramping up the AI game. Two separate discussions on America's AI action plan break down how the US is planning to cut through red tape, build robust AI infrastructure, and even use open source models as a strategic asset to outpace China. So I'll listen to a couple of people talk about that US action plan for AI. A lot of it covers about the needs for more energy, because apparently the creation of energy in the US has sort of stagnated since the 70s. It hasn't really grown too much. In China, they can generate 3 times the amount of power. So we will need shitloads more power to keep up with the demands that AI will place on things. The other thing was to try and have the US models be what countries and governments use, or the US open source versions of models. So that way the Chinese models aren't used primarily by everyone. So then there's those standards and values in the code already. So you don't take it from the Chinese model and what they do and how they decide to obfuscate information and hide things and restrict information from people, so it's more open. There's also an impressive case study from Norway's 1.8 trillion sovereign wealth fund by mandating AI integration. This was called Nordes Bank, I think. By using Anthropic's Claude in tandem with Snowflake, they managed to save over 213,000 work hours in a year. I can't fathom the amount of people that is and what they've been affected by. But what else did they do in that time that they saved? What did that extra 213,000 hours afford them to be able to do in that job as well? That's what I would like to know. In this one, the case study was talking about how the AI mandate was pushed from the top down, and it was forced upon everyone, because they said about 20% of people will never want to change. So you have to force them to change. So you make it, you train it, you have open information sessions, you keep bringing it into people, you have your champions, but then you force everyone to do it as part of the job. So then they end up having to do it. And then everyone gets the benefit because everyone's using the tools the right way. On the organizational front, I watched talks all about building modern AI teams. Dennis Linkov's session laid out how companies are combining domain experts with engineers, upskilling their workforce, and even reshaping roles with the rise of the AI architect. And in the startup world, Rahul Sunwalker of Julius AI shared his story of hitting 2 million users in 18 months by focusing sharply on solving daily problems. His takeaway was, don't solve a problem that someone's going to have once a year or once a month. Solve a problem that someone's going to have daily, because then they'll come back to your app every day. That little line about combining domain experts with engineers, I believe that's what everyone should be doing when they're developing software anyway, because you can't build software unless you have the domain experts involved, or you have enough information about the domain to be able to deliver something properly. You need to have them involved. That's why you have stakeholders. That's why here at Aerion, we have DevReady, and we involve people in the conversations. We get the right people in the rooms so we can have those conversations and actually get things moving forward. Otherwise, we don't know everything. It's impossible to build software that's going to be used by people in an industry when you don't know anything about it. You have to become aware, you have to help, you have to know what's going on. So there's a bit of difference there. I just assume that's the norm, but I guess it's not.